South America is home to anomalies that challenge our logic and reason. Creatures, secrets, including lost cities that were recently brought into the limelight. A translucent slug that eats its prey like a Venus flytrap, also known as the mystery mollusk, while scientists still figure this thing out. According to the Monterey Bay Aquarium Institute, its appearance contains a voluminous hooded structure at one end with a tail fringed with numerous finger-like projections at the other. As seen clearly with its see-through body, it also showcases its colorful internal organs. Unlike other slugs that are found much closer to the surface, this slug is the first of its kind to be spotted 13,100 feet below the sea's pitch black midnight zone. Little is known about this section of the sea due to how far down it is and the insane pressure it holds. It's given the characteristics of a Venus flytrap because of its cavernous hood, which the slug uses to trap smaller prey as it opens and closes. The slug will also produce a beautiful bioluminescence along its body to distract its predators when it feels threatened or scared. It's even able to choose where it lights up by even focusing on a steadily glowing finger-like projection from the tail. Steve Haddock from the Aquariums Institute said, "Everyone in the control room let out a loud ooh at the same time. We were all enchanted by the sight." Mice can live in volcanoes! Who knew? Before, however, it was speculated that mummified mice that were found in the past were due to ritualistic practices, but we're finding out now that that's probably not the case anymore. Researchers have been finding small animals that live 22,000 feet above the sea level on the snow-capped tops of volcanoes in the Andes, making them challenge their previous assumptions about what limits vertebrate life actually have. This was proven with the fact that one of the mummified mouses that were found dated back to being only a few centuries old, and nowhere near old enough to have been alive during the time of the Inca's transportation of these creatures. 2013 was the year they saw actual live mice running around at 20,000 feet, 360 feet altitude. They also then went back in 2020 to capture some of these guys at the volcano summit at 22,100 feet. The only known vertebrates to be seen in this location were birds that would fly over, but they've never actually lived at these heights. They were able to finally close the chapter on the mice mummies, but now there's a whole new world to figure out as to why and how these little guys are living in such frigid environments so easily. An anteater with 2 heads. Two-headed animals are not that uncommon in the world, scientifically known as polycephaly, but they are rare enough to just shock the online world. After the specific video went viral on X, people were absolutely baffled at what they were looking at. An anteater with its regular anteater head, but where its left arm should have appeared to have the head of a different animal? Some of the commenters said, "This tripped me out. I still don't get what's happening. A two-headed creature, one's an anteater, one is a goat. 3 legs and a peacock tail? Why is he wearing shoes?" Fear not, because there is an actual reason for this, and sadly, it's not about 2 heads, but rather the white and black looking part of its body actually is its limb. It's just extremely camouflaged to look like that. Because of the strange coloring, it gives the optical illusion of having 2 heads, especially when it reaches forward like it does in the video. It definitely got me, because it truly did look like another head reaching out to eat. An ancient city hidden in the Amazon was discovered this year. Sure, it's not Atlantis, but this revealed gem is said to have been hidden by lush amounts of foliage for thousands of years. There were 6,000 mounds that were discovered to be the basis for ancient homes, and were connected by a network of roads and canals. Scientists are speculating that because these supposed homes were close to an active volcano at the time, due to how rich the soil was in the area, that could have led to the destruction of their existence. The director of investigation at the National Center for Scientific Research in France, Professor Stephen Rostaing, stated, "This is older than any other site we know of in the Amazon. We have a Eurocentric view of civilization, but this shows we have to change our idea about what is culture and civilization. It changes the way we see Amazonian cultures. Most people picture small groups, probably with minimal attire, living in huts and clearing land. This shows ancient people lived in complicated urban societies. Researchers believe the exact correct estimate of its existence was roughly around 2,500 years ago, but have thrived for at least 1,000. Within these 6,000 potential homes found, they were set up in groups of 3 to 6 as they circulated around a center plaza, where they speculated was meant for ritualistic purposes or some sort of ceremony. 2,000-year-old ancient rock carvings found in South America are believed to now be the largest in the world. Giant snakes, Amazonian centipedes, and several other images take over the rocks along the Orinoco River. These images measure over 40 meters in comparison to previous sites this group would discover that only ranged to about 4 meters high or wide. Snakes seem to be a great deal of importance to whichever group created these, and there is a good reason for that. Dr. Phil Rees, who works in archaeological environmental modeling as a senior lecturer, stated anacondas and boas are associated with the creator deity of some indigenous groups in the region and are also seen as lethal beings that can kill people and large animals. We believe the engravings could have been used by prehistoric groups to mark territory, letting people know that this is where they live and that appropriate behavior is expected. Snakes are generally interpreted as quite threatening, so where the rock art is located could be a signal that these are places where you need to mind your manners. Similar to that of a teenager putting "danger, keep out" on their bedroom door with scary images. There is a weird dent in the Earth's magnetic field that seems to be messing up the Aurora Australis in that area. That sounds terrifying. Scientists describe this anomaly as an oval-shaped region that covers a large part of South America and the southern Atlantic Ocean. To specifically quote this sentence from Live Science, the anomaly is already known for allowing charged particles from the sun to dip close to the Earth's surface, exposing satellites orbiting above to high levels of ionizing radiation. All I understood from that was scary, terrifying, and universe, take me now. The Aurora Australis seems to be weakened by this anomaly, since they're known to be created by solar particles interacting with the gas molecules in the Earth's atmosphere. But because of the magnetic field being dented there, that now two-way speculation can't happen. There's still a lot of science to be done on their part though about this, but either way, doesn't sound good. I also couldn't find anything from this article by Live Science that states it might be even growing. Hopefully not. A perfectly cut out circular piece of land that not only floats, but also rotates on its own? El Ojo, translated to the eye, is a mysterious floating island that was discovered along South America's second longest river, the Parana. Floating islands have been a thing forever, and only reason why this one stuck out so much was because of its shape and movements. Argentinian filmmaker Sergio Neuspiller accidentally found this anomaly while searching for a spot to shoot a paranormal film. It wasn't until he revisited it a second time that he realized this thing moved. Researchers speculate that this island, since its first recordings, has been around for 20 years at this point, but it possibly could have been there longer and was just not discovered yet. The island will collide with its surroundings, latching onto some mud patches, and then breaks free again from possibly strong winds or intense weather. This could also make sense for its perfectly round shape, constantly going in circles and unintentionally carving itself out. But hey, I'm not a scientist here. Saskatchewan is also known for its amazing stone structures, but one in particular, known as the upside down staircase, always has people flocking towards it. As stated, it's a staircase that's completely flipped over and leading to nowhere. People have several questions about this anomaly, wondering why they potentially built them this way, or did some natural disaster happen that forced them to topple over, or was it the work of giants? No one really knows the reason for this, even scientists, and has been left as nothing more than a spectacle for tourists who are lured in by its mystery. The area is also very chaotic, with many stone structures destroyed or cast aside in similar fashion. What the heck happened here? A blog post named Beyond the Range had his own words about it as well when he visited. Several nearby boulders, many of which are the size of a house, appear to have been violently overturned. Various edges and rails have been carved into them, but at all angles and without any apparent regularity. Why was this done? Are the carvings purely symbolic, and the seemingly random arrangement actually purposeful and intended? Or is this disjointed appearance the result of some massive cataclysm that overturned the Earth, depositing these features in their current haphazard manner? The world will never truly know. I want to know what anomalies you have experienced down in South America, or if any. Maybe your story can be the next one on the list. Stay creepy out there.